to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm Debbie O'Handley, your host, along with my friend Margi Kyle. We are here today on this happy Tuesday.
I was waiting for that.
Yes. How are you, Margi?
I am well.
Have you been fa-la-laing?
All weekend.
I know, me too. Can we do this from the fetal position on the floor, curled up? Because we're getting to the point where we're getting tired.
That's okay.
Yeah,
It only happens once a year.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all in the name of goodness and hope and smiles. So how can you complain about that?
You can't.
No. So what did you do this weekend?
Well, Friday night I was invited to Jack's with my husband's hockey team. Invited me to join them for their Christmas party.
You should have called.
And we, of course, go every year. But for those of the listeners don't know, I lost my husband in April, so they wanted me to come,
Aw.
which was wonderful. But I did get some feedback from people that said, "What were you doing at Jack's Tavern with all these young men?"
Jealous. That's all I got to say. Jealous.
They're like my sons.
Yeah. How fun.
You know,
Good for you.
They played hockey together for 25 years.
That's amazing.
And they called my husband Gramps. And if anybody, well, he was 76 when he finally stopped playing. If a fight came out and anybody even went to touch Gramps, they'd swarm around him and say, "You touch Gramps, you're dead."
Okay. Okay.
So
Those are the kind of people you want to surround yourself with.
So
Good,
that's who
good
I did
people.
Friday night. And then Saturday was the boat parade.
Right. How was that?
It was fabulous. The weather was absolutely outstanding.
Perfect. Saturday was a beautiful day. We had a fundraiser done by two kind gents that you are going to meet today on the show that put together a cornhole tournament for us at Primal. Beautiful
Oh, how
day.
nice.
It was one of those December North Carolina days where the sky was blue. It was warm
Yeah.
enough you could get away with a light sweater, and you just wanted to be outside and enjoy
Yes.
yourself. So we are both blessed, aren't we?
We are.
Mm-hmm.
We are. It was an extraordinary boat parade.
Was it chilly at night?
Well, yeah.
And no problems getting around the lake without water in it?
We had about 4 boats that got stuck going to get in line.
Oh, wow.
But other than that, I heard some people were a little upset they didn't go in close enough to shore, but they couldn't.
Right.
So,
Well, if anybody's seen the lake lately, they will know
Yeah,
that it's
yeah.
down significantly and you really can't get that close. But I'm sure you could see from a distance the color lights and everything. I bet it was
absolutely.
beautiful.
Yeah, and I got to blow the horn.
Oh, that a girl. Are you captain yet?
No, I have been, though, for many years
Yes.
of my own boat.
Yes, me as well. I don't think these two gentlemen we have as guests today want to mess with us. This is Captain Margie and Captain Debbie on Community Centered. I think they're a little bit scared of us.
Well, and here's a picture. So on Sunday, Colin and
Oh, Captain Colin?
yeah, Mike brought over all the toys that they had collected.
Wow.
Now, my favorite story is the Peninsula Yacht Club called me and said, "We have a teddy bear about 5'7". Would you accept that as money?" I said, "It's gone. It's going right to Hope House because
Awesome.
we had to replace the monkey that we gave you years ago."
The monkey that we thought we would
And
never
there's
use.
his leg. I mean, it's huge.
Wow.
He's a big boy.
Wow. Wait
Yeah.
till he comes. Well, a funny story. I moved my mom into William's place in Davidson in September. And she called me the other day and she said, I have met the perfect man. And I said, oh, goodness. Okay. Give it to me. She goes, well, he's all dressed in red. And he sits in my chair and he doesn't ask me for a thing. I don't have to feed him. I don't have to talk to him. He's just the perfect man. So Santa visiting and my mother's is the perfect man. So now we have the perfect Teddy and the perfect man. Life is good.
Life is very good. I wish
Life
it were
is
that simple.
Very, very good. That's for sure. Sunday at Hope House, we had a cookie baking opportunity where some women came in and we did crafts and cookie making, and We had some professional photography taken, and the ladies had the option of getting their makeup done with Mary Kay, but instead they chose to have their faces painted. So
What
they
fun.
had we had the Grinch and we had snowflakes and all kinds of things. So it was really, we were making merry, but Sunday was miserable with all that rain.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah. So one day earlier, and that boat parade would have been, and our cornhole tournament would have been a wash. So
I have a little bit of a joke gift for you.
a joke gift. Can I open this on the air?
Oh, yes.
Okay. A joke gift. I like jokes, Margie. Oh, is this a tattoo?
It's a
sleeve?
tattoo sleeve.
Dude, so cool. Can Bill see that? Wow.
I was cleaning out one of my drawers and I thought, how many of those do I have? For Christmas one year, I gave them to all my grandsons and said, you want a tattoo? You got one. That's it.
I'm
That's
not
the
telling
only one.
anyone, and I'm just going to wear it
I
and
know.
show up.
I thought you would have fun with that.
We did a women's empowerment thing at Hope House once where we had these like temporary tattoos that we put on that looked legit. And for weeks afterwards, people would say to me, you got a tattoo? And I was like, yeah, I'm so cool. I do not have a tattoo, but it looked like I legit had one, and it was kind of cool. And you know what? One day we should just do a show on tattoos.
Well, let's do it. I have the perfect guy that will help us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're baiting me with all kinds of mysterious thing. Margie, this is our last show of 2023.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
That's right.
This year
I didn't
has-
think about it that way.
This year has gone by in a blink. We've been doing this. The guys asked us when they came in how long we've been doing this. We've been doing it since, I think, July. So every week on a Tuesday, we are here trying to put hope back in the community with a smile. It's been a delightful experience interviewing and talking to people that are doing good in our community, such as our gents today. So I'm excited for our listeners to be introduced to
I
them
am too.
and to know that there are
See,
good
we
people.
really don't have a plan here. We just,
We wing it.
well, I mean, I usually have a list of people that I invite. Then I said to you, I'm stuck. So then you take over.
I said, these guys, I know just the two princes that will come and do the show with us. So I am excited.
So I'm excited to learn about what they do.
Absolutely. So our studio number is 844-STUDIO-4 or 844-788-3464 if you have questions for Margie or myself, Debbie, or our lovely guests, John O'Brien and Rob Barber. You're going to learn when we come back from the break what they do and how they help make hope happen in our community, and a little bit about their businesses and maybe their why they wanted to give back and why they want to do some good in our community. Because we, as you know, that's what this show is all about, is focusing on good people doing good things. Way too much negativity out there. If you're anywhere on Facebook or the Next Door Neighbor app or Reddit, you are listening to lots and lots of complaints about things that are happening, and we want to focus on the good. So when we come back from break, we will be introducing you to two fine gents. And if you have questions for them, please feel free to call during the show at 844-STUDIO-4 or 844-788-3464. And as always, we are streaming live on WSICnews.com, social media, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, and LinkedIn. Did I get it all?
I hope so.
Okay. Well, I am excited when we come back to meet our new friends, John and Rob, that are making hope happen.
Looking forward to it.
With a smile.
With a smile. They are smiley. They're very smiley. That's a good
Holiday
thing.
season.
It's the holiday season. We got a lot to smile about. When we come back, we'll be talking with them.
More of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. From December 24th through January 1st, WSIC will be playing Christmas music all day. And we can't forget about the last few Panthers games of the season. See you in 2024. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and cheers to the new year from all of us at WSIC. Celebrate Kane Center for the Arts' first anniversary gala, along with Broadway star Mandy Gonzalez. Dinner and a show, January 6th at Kane Center for the Arts. You may remember Mandy Gonzalez from her roles in Hamilton and Wicked. This is a black tie optional celebration. All-inclusive tickets include dinner and the show. Happy anniversary, Kane Center. Visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include Time with Santa and 8 digital images from the professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a sunny day out there today. High temperature is going to be 44 degrees as you head through the afternoon. Winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. This evening we'll still have clear skies, but that low temperature will be well below freezing again. We're down at 22 degrees tonight. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Your home for the holidays. WSIC.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on WSIC.
Welcome back. You're listening to Community Centered. I'm your hostess, Debbie O'Hanley, with my friend Margi Kyle. I have the distinct pleasure today to introduce to you two fine princes in our community. One is Rob Barber. He is with Goosehead Insurance, and we're going to talk to him a little bit about his business, but kind of give you a little background on how I came to meet these two gents. So they contacted us at Hope House and said, hey, we have this idea to do a little fundraiser. We're looking for a local charity to support, something in our own backyard, something that we can get behind. And I know they both have kids and they're both excited about their community. So they came to the Hope House. They met with us. We had some back and forth emails and things like that. And they're really, when people have a great idea to do something like this, it's phenomenal, and we love that. But these guys, I got to see them in action. We had them come to the Hope House to visit with us, and while they were visiting with us, we had a resident in one of our cottages tell us that she had moved out and she was moving into a new place with nothing. And so I said, if you wait 6 weeks, I can get you a referral somewhere. And she said, nope, I really want to go. I'll just take an air mattress and I'll leave. So within minutes, one of Margi's board members, Connie still a board member?
Yep.
Connie Burrow with Puma Real Estate called and said, hey, I've just closed on a condo. I have a condo full of furniture. Do you know anybody that needs it? I said, yes. John and Rob said, hey, we drive trucks. We'll deliver the furniture. So 2 days later, in the pouring rain, they loaded up their trucks. They went to the condo and they delivered this furniture in Charlotte. They set this home up for this young lady and her family.
What a gift.
And she works a 12-hour shift as a phlebotomist. And when she came home, she absolutely fell in exhaustion into the bed and overwhelmed tears and gratitude of two strangers she'd never met, who Hope House had never met, who offered their services. So people, if you're driving in your car, don't go off the side of the road. Just give them a little round of applause for the goodness that they bring and the things that they do. But Rob Barber, tell us about Goosehead Insurance.
Sure. Nice to meet everyone. Thank you for having me.
You bet.
Goosehead was a journey for me over this year. 2023 is unbelievably coming to an end. And I was in the corporate America world in insurance for about the last 20 years. I have sold insurance, service insurance, led over 1,200 people, branches, call centers, And I needed to get back to a community. I've been moving up and down the East Coast. I was in South Dakota, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, all over Chicago a few times. And my community really has been here, my family, my direct family. And so talking to my wife, we really wanted to like, okay, let's do our own thing. And so we decided to come back to Charlotte after 10 years. And I picked Goosehead because of they're a brokerage, and many folks don't know what a brokerage is in the insurance world. And it's as simple as when you call into the office or into an insurance agent, they ask you all those questions: your name, your address, your date of birth, your VIN numbers that no one ever has, and those things that you just sit there and go,
me.
you go like, why do I need this? Why do you need all of this stuff? And there's a reason. I don't ask it because I'm curious. It's not one of those things. But what I like to do is I only have to ask you those once, and then I can shop you with over 25 different companies, and I can find the best rate and the best coverages for my customers. And that was why I decided Goosehead, was because of the options that I would then have. So when someone calls me, I don't just have a one and done company. I can't just offer you one price.
Right.
I can say, hey, I have these three. These are the ones that I would recommend that look the most competitive. And here are some options
So
for
you
coverages.
could maybe do car insurance under one,
Yeah.
house under another.
Yeah. And some people go, oh, you got a bundle with the same. Yeah, and you do. You do get discounts for those things. But what you'll find is that sometimes you'll find a home insurance policy somewhere that is hundreds, thousands of dollars cheaper. So it actually washes out the discount, and it's better for you to have policies in two separate places. I'm still your agent. I'm still the one person you would call. I just happen to represent the client and not the insurance company.
Gotcha.
And that's how it's a little bit different with brokers. Is I work for my customers.
Yeah.
I don't have a loyalty to the insurance companies.
Okay.
I want to get you in the best position that I can put you in.
That's fabulous.
So when I saw your name, I thought, I wonder, he must really stick his neck out for us.
Yeah, the Goosehead name. A lot of folks go, "What is
I
that?"
have never heard of it.
It was a gentleman, Mark Jones. He created this company out of Texas. He built the biggest insurance book of $512 million.
Wow.
And so he decided to go public, and he created a franchise. And so I am part of their franchise. There's only about 30, 40 of us in the like Charlotte, North Carolina area. It is a growing company. They're a little over $2 billion in insurance, and that's it's a relatively big company, one of the fastest growing insurance companies in the U.S. So
Very cool.
that was why I went there.
Yeah,
Rob Barber,
good to
how
know.
would someone get in touch with you?
Oh, so many ways. I think the easiest way is to just shoot an email. Is usually the easiest. Rob.Barber, and Barber is spelled like barbershop. At goosehead.com. And usually the easiest thing, I say is email, because a lot of what we do is I can get your name, your address, and your date of birth, and all those numbers and those VIN numbers and the coverages. I have systems where I can pull all of that stuff.
Okay.
And I can make it very easy for you to come around on that. Or if you'd like to call, you can call me at any point. My cell phone is 814-449-7927, and that is my personal line. And so I do give that out.
Ruh-roh.
I know. I give that out because this is, I am really committed to this company and to my business and growing this. We've only been around for 3 months now. And in those 3 months, we've helped a lot of people and saved them a lot of money.
That's
one at Hope House
amazing.
was one of the biggest.
Yeah.
So-
We had somebody at Hope House sit down with Rob, and is saving herself hundreds of dollars a month, which is phenomenal. Tell me, Rob, why Hope House? Why did you want to get involved with Hope House in our community?
Yes. So I, like many others, was raised by a single mom. And coming up in that arena, she had 4 children. She decided to kick my father out when I was 9. And from 9, I remember when I was 14 to 18, we gave my mom pretty much every paycheck, my older brother and I. We were working from 14, going to high school, working at 2 a.m. And I know everybody has their story. But my mom was a very strong woman. And when we were sitting down talking in Hope House, I got smacked sideways a little bit about the feelings that my mom might or probably was going through, that as a child I had literally no idea. It wasn't even a blip on the radar. This was life. I remember there was a day we came home, there was no power. We had no heat, couldn't pay the electrical bill. And so in the house, somehow we turned it into like an igloo adventure and it was just a game. And we never sweated it, never thought anything of it. People would drop off food at the house and we'd be like, oh, this is so neat and wonderful. I love this. And it was just the community helping out. And when we heard about this, I mean, I couldn't have picked a better foundation. I mean, it was a direct connect. I say this to my mom, or it's been the last few years that I think she's heard this from me, is all the sacrifices that she made. I mean, didn't notice them then, notice them now. And I think all the moms that are out there that are in these positions, they don't know. And the sacrifices that you're making today will make amazing human beings.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that our moms struggle with is, the effect that this has on their children. And yet we try to teach them, like we have one mom that refers to when they were homeless as camping, right? We've been camping. And I think when they got settled, her child said, well, how come we don't go camping anymore?
Yeah.
Like it was an adventure, but yet it really wasn't. And I think that you had that sort of epiphany moment when you were at Hope House where you were like, whoa, I never saw this from the perspective of my mom, of what this must have been like to go through this. And that's
very,
why,
very scary.
Yeah. And that's why at Hope House, we try to make this as normal, right? And this time of year, so like Sunday, baking cookies, that's something that probably every normal child is doing. And now, they'll be on vacation this week. So we'll do popcorn movie night and things like that you would normally do. But I did see that in you, Rob, when you were at Hope House, where you kind of had this aha moment of like, holy mackerel, this happened to me, and this was my life.
Yeah.
And so I had the distinct pleasure of meeting your mom on Saturday at your cornhole event, and wow, she's a force to be reckoned with. As in, I live in awe of all of the women at Hope House every single day in the tenacity, courage, and resiliency it takes to pull off living this life that they do. To see it from your perspective on the other side of knowing my littles someday are going to be a Rob Barber, who are going to be successful business people, who are going to be in their community, who are going to be contributing and making hope happen because there's a give back, right? Those are the moments that I live for when I say I see people on the other side of this situation, and delighted that you found us and you were able to share your story and have humility about it, and to have sensitivity and compassion, because it's so hard to explain what that story is or what that means. So
I can't even imagine.
Right?
Just to ask for help, I think is like just that. Like just to say I can't do this alone.
Right.
Even now I put myself in that position. Like
Incredible,
four
isn't
kids,
it?
a house, and you just said, "Hey, sole income earner,
Right.
see you later."
Yep.
We need. I'm not doing this anymore, and there were obviously reasons for that, which
Sure.
we won't get into. But
Sure.
it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, this is that is a leap to take.
That is a very, very brave
woman. Yeah.
very brave woman to do that. And what I always tell the models every day, the moms every day, that you are modeling for your children what courage and brave looks like. And so be proud of that you are getting through something that is really a challenge, and that there are a lot of Rob Barbers in our community that want to give back and do good when they're on the other side of it. So when we come back from break, we're going to be introducing John O'Brien. He is another extraordinary individual, another hope maker that we know. And I want you to listen to his story as well. So again, we have Rob Barber with Goosehead Insurance, and you can find him at rob.barber@goosehead.com.
Yep.
How about that? He is an insurance broker, so reach out to him.
More of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Don't miss new deals every day during Lowe's 25 Days of Deals. Get up to 50% off select tools and accessories. Plus, bring home a Werner 4-foot fiberglass stepladder, now just $29.98. And get same-day delivery for eligible in-stock items when you order by 2 p.m. Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/20 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Delivery by 8 p.m. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Additional terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a sunny day out there today. High temperature is going to be 44 degrees as you head through the afternoon. Winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. This evening we'll still have clear skies, but that low temperature will be well below freezing again. We're down at 22 degrees tonight. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Senator Tom Tillis is harnessing the power of clean energy to create a stronger America. Building a clean energy economy will create high-wage American manufacturing jobs and expand opportunities for hardworking families to thrive and prosper. Investing in clean energy innovation will strengthen our electric grid and make it more resilient against natural disasters and foreign hackers. Senator Tom Tillis understands that clean energy is vital to America's economic and national security. To become energy independent, America needs an all-of-the-above energy strategy. Wind, solar, and homegrown biofuels can help break our dependence on foreign energy, create a booming economy, and protect our environment for generations to come. America can lead the world in clean energy innovation. Call 202-224-3121. Thanks, Senator Tom Tillis, for building America's clean energy economy. Paid for by Americans for a balanced budget.
Now more of Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. That's our jazzy music intro. Isn't it cool? It's got like a little hip,
Very smooth.
hip drive. We are Community Centered. I'm Debbie O'Hanley with my friend Margie, and we are talking with John and Rob, just two really fine gents who decided to come alongside of us. They want to do some good in their community. They did a cornhole tournament for us at Primal Brewery on Saturday. It was one of those beautiful days, and I got to see this breed of a dog that I had been talking to someone about that I'd never seen. I'd said I'd never seen I think they're called a cane corso. I'd never seen one. And here comes this woman walking in with her daughter and her dog. And I was like, is that a cane corso? Like, it is a massive, massive dog.
Oh, yeah.
And he was at this event. So it was great to meet him too. And we played with that and sent pictures to our kids saying, look what we got for Christmas. And they were like,
pony.
I know, they were crazy. So John, this I think was your idea to throw this cornhole tournament together. You are a cornhole player? Like, is there such a name?
I think after this last Saturday, I would consider my backyard player, not any type of like pro or what I saw
There
out
were some pros there.
There were, or very close to being on that pro level. So it was a little scary, intimidating, but
yeah,
ironically, my
intense.
buddy actually won, who I partnered with on our Wednesday night league. So he ended up winning it all. So that was very cool.
He beat the pros?
He did. Him and his partner, who might have been up in the pro level as well, but so it was a blind draw. So you didn't get to bring your partner. It was picked, and like I said, he beat out 14 other teams, so
Wow.
it's winning it.
That was
So,
incredible. It was just one of those great Saturdays where you could hang around. You could say, "Oh, I don't have Christmas shopping to do," or any kind of crazy thing. John O'Brien, what made you want to do something like that?
Yeah, so cornhole, like I said, it's always been something very fun for me. I haven't got to do it as much lately with having two young kids, but it also is a way for me to give back to my local community, partner with Hope House, but also getting my name out there for
Hmm.
what I do in the community to kind of goes along with what you're looking to do with the women that want to find homes.
Yeah. So
As
what do
you
you
know,
do, John?
yeah, I'm actually a mortgage broker. Very similar to Rob when he said about the broker industry, where very similar background in the sense of I worked for the corporate side of things, one lender for 13 plus years. You had a very limited products. You had to basically offer what they had, which usually comes with higher fees, higher cost, ultimately not benefiting the consumer. Within the last year, I've actually gone into the wholesale side of things, being a broker where I can shop those 20 plus investors now, eliminate all those upfront fees, origination costs that these lenders will charge for their processor, the junior processor, and everything else that goes involved, not to mention their overhead that they have involved in that passing on to consumers. So now I can truly get back to the consumer and make sure that they are ultimately getting the best deal on that. Because home shopping and home buying is hard enough.
Mhm.
Finding the right home, moving, worrying about everything, not to mention the regulations that go into it now with everything that Dodd-Frank since then. And if we want to talk about the interest rates that I'm sure everybody is so scared to even see over the last year, they've gone up. So my job is I want to take all that stress off them, but I don't want to sell them alone. I want to educate them on why one of thousands of products that are out there is going to be best for them. And then let them ultimately decide because their situation right now may dictate going one path, but planning for the 6 months to a year from now as well. I think there's just it's something that it's been a passion of mine forever. I've literally seen home buyers cry when they buy their first home at 50, 60 years old, never thinking they could. And it's something that I still find joy in that. There's
Yeah.
always stress that goes with it, underwriting guidelines or having to sometimes give the bad news to clients, but ultimately there's still joy in it. And home buying is, I think, for everybody. I mean, people might not think they can buy a home, but they can. And
And
they
what
just need to
what
know
a
how.
ride you must have been on here these last couple of
Yes.
years between COVID and everything else. I mean, we don't think about the trickle down effect that it's had on everyone. And I know the market is just been insane with real estate. But tell me what's happening with interest rates, and are people still buying homes?
Yeah, so here in the Charlotte market, people are still very much buying homes. The demand is very high, the supply is actually very low. So people are still having to get in bidding wars. I've had several clients recently have to once again maybe offer more than what list price to get in the homes that they
Wow.
want. And we're here, what, a week, not even a week away from Christmas when most people aren't even thinking about this. This is typically your slowest time of year, and it's still very, very competitive out there. But for the good news out there, as we're coming up to the holidays, is we have seen rates take a huge drop really quickly, really recently too. The Fed just came out last week and announced that they're expecting three rate drops next year alone. So that is going to really give some relief to people. Not only that if they've bought in the last year, they're going to be able to refinance and save hopefully $100, whatever situation they are in. And people that maybe haven't bought because they thought rates were too high, they couldn't afford, that should hopefully help them to be able to get into homes as well.
So what happens when the Fed announces something like that, and you're like, okay, there might be a couple more drops? Do people like hesitate now and then say, well, I'm going to wait, or do you think it matters?
I see a little bit of both, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there. People think, oh, well, rates are going to go down. That means I can afford a more expensive home, or I'll just have a cheaper payment. In reality, what I'm seeing, and I think a lot of real estate agents will tell you, is when rates go down, it's kind of what happened during COVID when there were so many people that came out to buy their first home or homes in general or moving, and there was just not enough supply.
Hmm.
So they weren't able to get into their homes at that point. So they had to settle for renting a home. And I think what's going to happen in the coming years, and if rates continue to go down and we don't have the supply, new home builds aren't keeping up with people moving to the area wherever you may be, is that causes the demand for those homes to go up. Therefore, people can charge more for their houses.
I was talking with one of our residents at Hope House yesterday, and she was telling her story to someone who was there, and she said within 4 months' time, Her rent went from $975 a month to $1,600. That is so unreasonable.
Well, that's what happened to us in Burkdale.
Yes, I know, Margie, you had a similar
Yeah.
situation where you had to move. And I mean, it's just, I think it sort of reflected the insanity of what was happening in our community and our world at the time. But, John, tell me, it's Clearpoint Home Loans.
Clearpoint Home Loans is the name
How
of the
would
company.
someone get in touch with you?
Yeah, so same thing. Email's probably always the best. It's john.o'brien@cphomeloans.com.
Is that O'Brien with an A or an E?
It is an E. We're official Irish name there. So
That's my mother's maiden name, so I always with an A.
I wish I had that last name. Like
it's
I've
the
always
curly
told
apostrophe,
him,
though.
Like I want him to O'Brien, like at John O'Brien.
Be very careful what you wish for on there. I married my wife; she didn't have the apostrophe. Now we can't ever find you in the system.
Yes, and I am an O'Hanley, so the apostrophe gets you into more trouble. Yes. People forget it, they lose it, they can't find you. The apostrophe is a terrible thing.
Yeah, and I will say, speaking of that, if the other way too, sometimes it's easier. It's just o'brienhomeloans.com.
Okay.
So that's my website. That'll take me directly to my application link, whatever, just info. All of my contacts in there. My personal cell phone as well is on there.
Perfect.
As Rob knows, we do get a lot of calls because of that. At the same time, like we want to be there for our clients.
Perfect.
I have clients I've helped 10 years ago still reaching out to me because ultimately.
Before we walked in here, he was on the phone with a customer who had a situation and was talking on his personal cell phone. Helping him.
Wow, you two really have amazing hearts.
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to give back to your community? What was that about? That did you just say I'm just a young entrepreneur and I got money to give, or I mean where does that come from?
No, it's definitely not it for me. I know. So I was actually born here in Charlotte. So Charlotte's pretty much been my home for my whole life. Yeah, I moved away for a couple years throughout high school and year after college and whatnot. But ultimately, a family's always been here. My dad's worked here. He worked for the city of Charlotte for over 30 years. My mom's worked before U.S. Airways, now America. So Charlotte is my home. My two older brothers live here, all of my friends, and I don't think we'll ever leave. So I have two young daughters now in the Mooresville area. And we want to make sure that they're growing up in a community, not only when we have the opportunity to support our community we want to, but ultimately I may need support one day. My daughters may need support one day. I want to make sure that that's what I can be about while I can, I guess.
Well, it's a good lesson for them to learn.
Yeah, good role modeling again.
I can remember when I was in high school, my mother made me go to Camp Oakland, and it was for children who could not get adopted and didn't have foster care. And it was about 20 kids that lived in this camp. And my goal was to teach them manners and how to set a table and what a start to realize people don't even know how to do the basics sometimes.
It is it's scary sometimes, but to know that people out there will either teach you or there's a way to
It was a
get
good lesson
outlets
for
is
me
good.
to learn that,
Yeah.
you need to give back to your community.
agree.
So for your girls, it's probably the best gift you could give them.
I'm amazed these days at these brewery things with these young families with their kids. Back in the day, Margie, you could probably relate to this. You would never think to bring your kid to a bar or something. I would have been arrested or DSS would have been
3 years ago, I was right there with you
right?
when I was going.
So
for my
now to
kids.
see little kids, your kids were climbing in and out of the cornholes and they were just, handing candy canes and doing all kinds of
I don't even
fun
think
kid
they were
stuff.
allowed.
Right? And now you see you see dogs and you see kids. I mean, it's to me it gives it such a good community feel to it. And I know Primal Brewery's been a great support. One of Steve Grenenbacher, who owns Christian Brothers Automotive, is a great supporter and part owner now. So I just love the fact that it draws people together and there are really good things that come out of it. And so we were maybe talking that we would do it again in a bigger way, and we would add little smiles to it and come up with some clever name and a way to bring everybody together because it's just phenomenal. So when we come back from break, we might talk about that. Or if you have any calls or you want to reach out to our guys, remember it's john.o'brien@cphomeloans.com.
That's it.
And Rob?
Rob.Barber@Goosehead.com.
There you go. So when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit more with John and Rob. And if you have any calls, make sure you call the studio.
Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle will return after this short break. on the new 1059 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. From December 24th through January 1st, WSIC will be playing Christmas music all day. And we can't forget about the last few Panthers games of the season. See you in 2024. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and cheers to the new year from all of us at WSIC. Celebrate Kane Center for the Arts' first anniversary gala, along with Broadway star Mandy Gonzalez. Dinner and a show, January 6th at Kane Center for the Arts. You may remember Mandy Gonzalez from her roles in Hamilton and Wicked. This is a black tie optional celebration. All-inclusive tickets include dinner and the show. Happy anniversary, Kane Center. Visit kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to see more than 5 million Christmas lights at one time? Speedway Christmas is back. Happening daily, the amazing Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway is happening now through January 7th. The show is open 6 to 10 p.m., rain or shine. The infield Christmas Village is open Thursday through Sunday nights. Speedway Christmas at Charlotte Motor Speedway, now through January 7th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com. Santa is here. Schedule your time to take pictures between now and Christmas Eve in Birkdale. Appointments include Time with Santa and 8 digital images from the professional photographer. For more info and to schedule your time with Santa, visit birkdalevillage.com. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
And now for a look at your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. It's going to be a sunny day out there today. High temperature is going to be 44 degrees as you head through the afternoon. Winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. This evening we'll still have clear skies, but that low temperature will be well below freezing again. We're down at 22 degrees tonight. This has been your weather forecast from the WSIC Weather Center.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Check out what's jingling around your hometown on WSIC.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on WSIC.
Welcome back, listeners. You're listening to WSIC 105.9. I'm Debbie O'Handley, your host of Community Centered, with my friend Margi Kyle and our friends Rob Barber and John O'Brien. And it looks like Santa came early here to the studio.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
Sure
So we
did.
have presents to open from this beautiful bag that says, "'Tis the season to be jolly." I like that.
It's not meant to be a Grinch, but this is the music that we have.
So 'tis the season to be jolly. Why were we in such a grouchy mood when we
I
came
don't
in
know.
this morning?
So do I get to like stick my hand in here and whoa, something clanged. Wow. Look at this. Quick quote. Water
Insurance,
bottle
yes.
insurance. That reminds me of a certain Justin Kazepis little meme thing, Bill.
That goes with your
that you
tattoo.
did. Yes, this is awesome. Margi, your turn. I'm going to pass the bag to you.
And you have to realize the avatar on there is Rob.
That is so awesome. I love it.
Ooh, that's cute too. I like that.
We are not going to tell you what are going to go in these, Margi and I. Cheers, Margi. Merry Christmas. That is so awesome.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you. I love the green. That's Hope
I do
House's
too.
color
Yeah.
is green. So, guys, what's next? What are we doing for fun here?
I mean, celebrate the rest of the year. I think I don't know what you
Get
guys
to the
plans,
finish
but
line.
ultimately, like I said, talked about our last event, and we are going to be planning some much more events come 2024. So take those times, and hopefully your listeners out there will come support, because ultimately, me and Rob have already fell in love with the foundation and what you guys support. Not just the muscle that we can bring and stuff to move and
Yes.
stuff, but
They have a truck. I'm so excited.
Whatever else, like I said, just I think you mentioned your husband does a lot with the kids
Yeah.
and stuff like that is awesome. So
Mr. Debbie.
Mm.
That's what we call him, Mr. Debbie. What does the O'Brien household look like at Christmas these days?
It's chaotic. Like I said,
Mhm.
I think I mentioned to you, I have a 11-month-old, and she has unfortunately been under the weather last couple of weeks. Like gets healthier than daycare germs.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those seem to be going around right now.
Mhm.
But ultimately, I mean, we have 2 Christmas trees. So my oldest daughter, everything is Christmas to her is a Christmas tree. So she sees a Christmas tree. Oh, there's Christmas.
Aw.
Or she'll see one where drives like, let's go find more Christmas.
Aw.
So that's what we have planned this weekend. My in-laws are coming in. My mom and dad will be coming in. And probably not all of us. I'll probably figure out between me and my wife who's going to do the driving and take her out to go see all the Christmas lights maybe on
Sure.
Saturday night. Hopefully not hit too much traffic. But
Oh, you have to come to Macaulay,
Okay.
across from the Hope House. There is a house right down the street from us that is set to a radio station, music, extravaganza, laser show. It's pretty fabulous, and we can walk to it from Hope House. So we every year,
Do you think they pay the neighbors money for that? Like if I live next to that house.
we had one in my old neighborhood, and literally our street would be backed up in the cul-de-sac. So
Yeah,
it's one of
we
those
did
things.
too.
Yeah.
So I saw someone who posted a lit up sign that said "ditto" with an arrow pointing next to the house.
That was us at
a-
his house.
Yes,
We were
yeah.
literally just like,
Perfect.
we just put a
That
mirror
would-
here to reflect
yeah,
it or something.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
love
looks
that.
like. Well, we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and thank you for the good and the hope that you've done in our community. And looking forward to a long relationship with you, not because you have a truck, but because of your
Muscles.
Yes, your
Because of the
generous,
muscles.
compassionate heart and the love that you have for the Hope House and Little Smiles. We just want to thank you for that. And Rob Barber, what does Christmas look like in your household?
It's I don't know. We haven't been home for a Christmas in a decade.
Wow.
So
Is this your first Christmas in Charlotte?
now before we left, we were here, and then after moving everywhere, this is the first time back. So I think we'll probably spend it at my mom's,
Okay.
and then go from there. I know we make
How
a
old
ham
are your
every year.
kids?
I have a puppers and a kitty cat that I consider
Okay.
my kids. So
Okay.
That is a
Yes,
that is a good enough answer
yes.
for me.
my puppers is 16 and our cat is 16. Both were adopted, and they've moved everywhere with us. So,
Oh, good.
but yeah, we just kind of do our own thing.
You
and
know,
then
those are the
family.
best kind of kids to have. They do not know your password to your ATM account. So those are the kinds you want to keep hanging around.
I'm a little worried about that with 2 daughters already, and the one's
Yes.
already wanting the credit card or debit card when we pay. So
You're going to have to practice saying no, Daddy.
yeah.
You're going to have to. I always say that to Justin, too. He's in big trouble. He has 2 littles as well that have stolen his heart. So he's going to have to learn for sure. Have you finished your Christmas shopping, John?
No.
Okay, dokie. Well, we might have to
So,
give you a little advice here, Margie
That
and
is
I.
absolutely right. Like I said, I still got to get the biggest gift in the house for my wife still. So
Jewelry always works.
You know what? Listen, I set a precedent long ago in my household, and I said nothing that plugs in. So, like, no blenders, no irons, no vacuum cleaners, and bling. Always, yes. Are you taking notes,
Yes.
Rob?
Yeah.
Nothing ever that
Bling
plugs
works.
Don't plug in.
Rob
Yeah.
actually called me on the way here, and he's like, "I think I'm going to hit the shopping on the way home, try to avoid some of the traffic." So we're might be
Yes.
doing this together.
I think so. We have an exciting night at Hope House. Our friends at Birkdale have sponsored all the kids. They're going to have a private visit with Santa and then a scavenger hunt afterwards. So they have been vibrating all day long, waiting for tonight to meet with Santa and talk to him. Some of them are a little bit terrified, but I think we'll get through it. And some of them, this is their first time even understanding the concept of Christmas or what that means. And so we have this happy dance, Jen and I do, of like how not to go overboard and get super excited and get.
And so you're going to come see me tomorrow, too.
And I am coming to see Margie. We had an experience last week with a young man we met who came to Hope House to do some service. He was doing something. He had to repair something, and he looked around at me and he said, "What do you do here?" And I said, "Well, this is a homeless facility for women and children." And he said, "I don't have any food." And we took it from there. So literally, we got him a referral to the food pantry. We had our volunteers at Hope House fill up 4 boxes of food, and then we heard his story and just fell in love with his humility, his grace, his ability to share his story. And I immediately called my friend Margie, and I said, Margie, he has some children, and she's like, when do you want to come? I'll open up the storage anytime. So, the great part about my job is watching hope happen in all different kinds of ways, not only for the Hope House families, but for people who come there or people who have a story, or listening to Margie, knowing that there are children in the hospital that are going to be blessed with beautiful gifts that our community gave through the boat parade, and know that, that lasts.
And we do Ronald McDonald, their Christmas store.
And that lasts long beyond Christmas.
Oh, well, we're 24/7
Yes.
every day of the year.
Yes.
So.
And I know if you're my friend Margie and you're going to get a phone call at whatever time and someone says there's a child in need, she's going to drop everything to open up the storage and make sure that there's something. And I've been in there with Margie before where she's like, it's kind of a buy one, get one free situation over there, although there's no buying. It's like Margie's like, you're taking more. You need to take this. You need to have that.
Well,
like,
as I said to the police department when they came in years ago, this is called selective shoplifting. And he looked at me and said, what? I said, if you are at an accident where there's a child that's hurt, you've got to have something in your trunk to pull out and calm that child down.
Think of that. Yeah, that was amazing.
Fire department, the same thing.
So yesterday, someone donated a pair of handcuffs to the Hope House. So perhaps I need to give them to you, Margie, so that you can arrest a police officer for taking gifts from the storage. But no, it's all in good fun. We're all, in such a good space of being so blessed by this community and the generosity of folks in there that find their way to Little Smiles, find their way to Hope House, and bring hope and a smile. And I know Christmas morning there will be lots of smiles in our community because of.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I've done a lot with hospice this year too.
Okay, that's awesome.
And you have a family that there's a member that's not going to make it. Those kids suffer just as much as we do. So.
Absolutely. I think that your generous heart, Margie, overflows into many different corners of our community. From, people think about that. They think about, the hospital and in need there, but they don't think about hospice, and they don't think about the Ronald McDonald or, the dad that doesn't have funds right now to.
Well, I love Ronald McDonald because I work with Levine too, and they give all the kids that are staying there play money. And they give the parents and the siblings too. And they go with that $1 and they can take a toy. It doesn't matter what they take.
Wow.
And they get to pick it.
Yeah.
Wow. It's the time of year for those good, heartwarming stories, right? It makes you feel really good.
Well, and it's
to
their
hear that.
third trip to our storage unit because they keep coming back for more.
That's great.
Because we get toys all the time. All the time.
It's a good and a bad thing. It's a bad thing because there is that kind of a need, right?
But thank heavens they have a place to go.
Absolutely. What a blessing to our community. So John O'Brien and Rob Barber, again, give us that contact information if someone needs to get in touch with you. How would we do that?
Yep. So John O'Brien here. It's email john.o'brien, OBRIEN, at cphomeloans.com or o'brienhomeloans.com. And that'll take you to my website with all my information as well.
Awesome. And Rob?
And I'll just keep it easy. Just email me, rob.barber, like barbershop, at goosehead.com.
Says the guy with no hair.
I know. I do use the barber joke once a month, and then people just look at me like,
that's awesome.
Sticking his neck out for us.
And gooseneck. So we want to just make sure that you both have a very Merry Christmas. We know that Santa's going to be really good to you for your generosity and your good hearts in the community. You made the nice list, guys, and I want to thank you on behalf of Hope House and Little Smiles for coming to talk to us today on Community Centered. We're delighted to have you as guests. I hope you come back someday and give us some more of your good news stories. And stay tuned to a Happy New Year for 2024.
Thank you. You as well.
You're
Happy
listening
holiday.
to Community Centered. Thank you.